Support for this podcast comes from the law firm of Davis Malm. Whether you're a developer, property owner, manager, or commercial tenant, their real estate attorneys know the lay of the land, not just the law. Learn more at davismalm.com.
WBUR Podcasts, Boston.
I'm Daryl C. Murphy, and you're listening to The Common. Aaron Tron, WBUR arts contributor. Welcome back to The Common.
Thanks so much for having me, Daryl.
Yes. Great to have you. Now, Aaron, you contribute to WBUR as a film writer from time to time, and cinema is your jam, right? So, I gotta ask you, what have you watched recently that, just blew you away? I want a good film.
A good film. Okay, so there is a shark movie about the Cape shark incidences coming out on HBO Docs that I just got to see outdoors with 2,000 people.
On a beach?
Well, there was water in sight. I don't know about the
Okay.
beach. It might have been a little bit of rockiness there. Called After the Bite. So I don't know if it blew me away, but it gripped me. I'm not one of those sharks make me nervous kind of people, but I'm fascinated with the way that it does make people really, really nervous. And so that kind of shark anxiety is just running in the background of this documentary. It's kind of a slice of the way our culture is very nervous about a number of things.
Where can people watch this documentary?
So it's been showing at film festivals around the area. It's an HBO documentary. It's on Max later this month.
Nice. Okay, so I'm making a note of that. After the Bite, I'm going to look for it on Max. Still getting used to that, But that's a streaming service. We're not talking about streaming services. No. We are going back to the beginning, to where it all started. We're talking about independent theaters. And that's important right now because it's summertime. I know, a lot of people want to go outside, but sometimes it gets really hot or it gets really rainy. But you still want to get out of the house, right? And a theater is just the perfect place, right? You get AC, you got some snacks, and you got your entertainment right there on a big old screen. And Aaron, you and fellow WBUR contributor Sean Burns came up with a list of independent movie theaters in the Boston area. But before we jump into this list, what were you both thinking about when you two were putting it together?
I think Sean and I were both thinking about how lucky we are in Boston to have such a rich film culture and so many great places to see independent movies and to see them in places where, people aren't beholden to any kind of schedule or timeline or whatever. They get to program what they want, when they want, and that's very exciting.
Well, let's get started in Somerville, the Somerville Theater. Tell us about it.
So the Somerville is Boston's longest running movie theater. It was built as a movie theater in 1914 is when it opened its doors. Seated 1,000 people then, seats nearly that many in the main auditorium now. And it projects all the different types of ways we see what we call the movies. Everything up to 70 millimeter, which is, if people are excited to see Oppenheimer this summer, the Somerville will be screening that on 70 millimeter when it comes out.
What should we expect if we're going to see a film shot on 70 millimeter?
You should expect just dynamic visual quality, a rich image, this saturated color. Even if you're not into the story of a 70 millimeter movie, there is something different about the experience of seeing all of that visual information projected on a giant screen with other people sitting around you, next to you. It's just exciting in and of itself.
It's like that's kind of when movies sort of become paintings in a way.
I love that. Yeah.
So that's the Somerville Theater in Somerville. And now we're about to go over to Brookline, which seems to have a local favorite, the Coolidge Corner Theater. Talk to us about that one.
It's hard not to love the Coolidge. I do myself. The Coolidge used to be a church and was converted into a movie house. And then, faced the demise that a lot of theaters faced in the 80s when VHS came out and people started watching movies at home. But a local film activist, David Kleiler, gathered people up and protected it from a wrecking ball with a giant group hug. There are pictures of this, actually. So it's a great story. But then since then, it's just become a national role model, if you will, for, what an art house cinema can be. And for a lot of people, it's a community gathering space. They do education. They do tons of conversations after movies and also just really fun programs. They're taking movies out to the Greenway this summer and projecting them outdoors as well. So, and they're undergoing renovation right now. And when they complete that renovation, they're going to be better than ever.
Right on. So that's the Coolidge Corner Theater in Brookline. And now we are going to go to Harvard Square.
So the Brattle Theater in Harvard Square started screening movies in 1953 and did so often to, the distraction of local college students during exam week. Why study when you could go sit in the movies all day long? And that space is interesting, too. It's been everything from, church services there to Cambridge Police Department's gymnasium. But they're a single theater movie house. So that's what's so cool about the Brattle. You go in, you're in the one room. There's not like 7 different things going on all at once, right? It's also got the nation's only rear projection system, as far as I know.
Talk to me about the rear projection system. What's that?
I guess it's to preserve the architecture of the space, but the projector normally is behind the audience, like way behind in a little booth. You can even see the light, kind of shining through over people's heads onto the screen. At the Brattle, it's all happening behind the screen. So that's very unique, very different. Yep.
We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back.
Did you kill Marlene Johnson?
I think you're one of the first people to have actually asked.
From WBUR and ZSP Media, this is Beyond All Repair, a new podcast about an unsolved murder that will leave you questioning everything.
Somebody should be in jail for murdering my sister.
A woman who's never been believed.
As long as they think I have done this, then they're not looking for who actually did this.
And that's what makes it a cold case.
No, it's a botched case.
And a search for the truth, once and for all.
Wow, it just gets more interesting.
Beyond All Repair. Listen and follow wherever you get your podcasts.
Be careful. You're digging in a place that's been very peaceful for a while.
Do it anyway. Dig.
And we're back. Now, in addition to making a list of theaters, by the way, that's not the complete list. We'll get into where you can find the list later. But in addition to this list of theaters, you and Sean made a list of annual film festivals that people can check out if they want to take their film experience to another level, right? Hit us with a couple of those.
Yeah. So at any given moment, Boston probably has like 2 or 3 film festivals overlapping. This summer, if you're looking ahead a little bit, the Woods Hole Film Festival, which I realize is not exactly in Boston, but perhaps you need a reason to get down on the Cape. You want to have a little beach time, little sun, and also a bunch of independent movies. It's the Cape's longest running film festival. It's hitting age 32 this summer. They're screening 110 films that they picked from more than 1,000. And there's definitely titles by local or regional filmmakers shot in the Boston area and surrounding areas. They have got parties, panels, filmmaker in residence. Everything's open to the public.
And so that's the Woods Hole Film Festival that starts late this month, and it runs into early August. And what about the Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival?
So this film festival is turning 21, and this festival has it's just like grown in influence. It's fantastic to see, really. And in fact, I think it might be one of the only ones that has had some national attention lately. And that was helped along last summer anyway by a surprise visit by none other than Barack and Michelle Obama. So
nice.
But one of the other things that's so cool about this festival is that they archive all of their conversations that they have. They really prioritize having filmmakers or people involved with the film attend with it, and then they archive these conversations. So if it's kind of hard to get to the vineyard in August, so if you can't, you can still see what's going on by checking out those conversations online. They also, the Martha's Vineyard African American Film Fest is one that has embraced TV, I think. You know, they've shown pilots for a number of years in addition to the movies. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it is. I like that they're trying new things, and they've got a tremendous following as a result.
When does that start?
It starts August 4th, runs for 9 days through the 12th.
Awesome. Well, Erin, those are 2 film fests on the list for summer, but you have annual film festivals for the entire year on this list. Where can people find it?
So they can find the guide to Boston area's indie theaters and film festivals on WBUR.org.
Erin, this has been a total pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's always fun. I would love to come back someday.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. That's WBUR arts contributor Erin Tron. And that's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening to The Common. Tell us, where is your favorite place to see a movie? Let us know. Hit us up on Instagram at WBUR The Common, or send us an email at thecommon@wbur.org. And now, it is that time for me to let you know that The Common is produced by Caitlin Harrop and Franny Monahan. It's mixed by Emily Jankowski, Matt Reed, and Paul Vaitkus. And it's edited by Samata Joshi and Ben Brock Johnson. And our theme music is Me by Hisu. And real quick, I should let you know that I'll be away for the next 2 weeks, but don't worry, WBUR reporters Carrie Young and Zenanjor Enwemeka will be holding it down here at The Common while I'm gone. And with that, from the newsroom of WBUR, I'm your host, Daryl C. Murphy. I will talk to you soon.